Here's a little intro. It's a spooky one. Like, comment, and subscribe to join in on the fun. Today we are standing on a mountain. More specifically, we are at Clingmans Dome, which is the highest point in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And I have been to Mount Mitchell before. I even saw a bear and little bear cubs on the way up there, but that is not within the actual Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It is a higher altitude, just barely. Both of these points are over 6,000 feet. But I wanted to come today because it is fall, and fall is magnificent here from what I am learning. It is my first fall in the area since moving here in November, last November, so I was just on like the cusp of missing the majestic fall experience. All the leaves are changing. There are actually, if you see behind me, some bare trees, and so I'm new to this. I'm learning. So the higher up you go, which is about as high as you can go here in the Smoky Mountains, like I said, it's the highest point in the Smoky Mountains, the trees change first at higher altitude. So as I was driving up here, I saw the trees changing and then slowly stopping, like they already reached peaks. They're still pretty. They're like more like yellows and stuff, but below us at lower altitudes, the leaves are in the process of changing. So the good thing is, being all the way up here, is that I can go to the lookout, which is just a little ways more through the park and up the mountain, and look down at all the leaves that are changing. So we're gonna continue our way up and look down. These roads here are incredibly windy. When I first came to visit Jacob, that was the fact that the trees were so green, because I came in spring after it had rained. That was the first thing I thought, was how green it is here, and then how windy the roads are. But I didn't call them windy. I called them like swirly or something. Something that is not the word that you would use to describe mountainous roads. I think I said swirly, so we're going to stick with swirly. I'm apparently learning a lot about mountains because I still don't have internet up here, and so I called Jacob to fill me in on Clingmans Dome itself, and I was like, what state am I in? He's like, you're in Tennessee. It's right over the North Carolina-Tennessee border. I'm like, okay. And so, what is Clingmans Dome? And that's when he told me about it being the highest point in the national park. I asked him specifically, I'm like, it is in the national park, right? And it is indeed in the park. I could not Google all this stuff before coming, or while up here. I should have Googled it before coming here. And then I was like, so is the dome the observatory? Is there an observatory? He's like, the dome is the mountain. The top of a mountain is a dome. I'm like, I thought that was a peak. And then like summit, like do you summit the peak? I went through this in my either Cades Cove or Mount Mitchell video. I think it was my Mount Mitchell video, trying to discern the types, the parts of a mountain and what each means. Like summit also seemed like it was the peak. And then, yeah, I'm still trying to learn my mountain vocabulary. It's not going very well, since Clingmans Dome, I thought, was the name of the actual like lookout point versus the actual mountain. So Clingmans Dome is this entire area. The dome is the mountain. It is the highest peak in the Great Smoky Mountains, and I'm slowly learning. And if this is not right, you have Jacob to blame, because I did not have Google to do any source material, any reference before coming up here. But since we're coming in the afternoon, almost evening, we may be able to see the sun setting. You can see the sun coming down as we're winding up this road, literally up the road, because it's been like straight up this whole time. I did have some people ask in the comments what areas are open for tourism, for visitors, and I will post a list now. I actually found this in one of the Facebook groups when I was looking for different fall activities to attend, which are limited because a lot of the farms have closed. So certain areas, certain towns are open, certain ones are not. Certain streets, expressways, highways are open, some are not. So it just depends. I know Asheville isn't open for tourism right now per this list, and this is as of recording, so maybe it will be open. I know places like Chimney Rock and Lake Lure, Bat Cave, which is an amazing town name. They were doing construction on the highway entrance for Bat Cave, and so the sign for the exit to Bat Cave was just laying on the side of the road. It was like propped up because they hadn't mounted it yet, and I totally wanted to swipe it. I wanted a Bat Cave entrance sign hanging in the living room, in the office, somewhere. But it is not the Bat Cave from Batman like you would think. It is a cave where there are bats, but not Batman. Although maybe he does live there. Maybe it's just a clever cover-up, a clever hideaway to say that he doesn't live there. Maybe he's hiding in plain sight, right where it says, with the highway entrance to the Bat Cave. Maybe on my way back down, I can show you guys what I was driving through on the way here, because as we've reached the top of the mountain, the summit, the peak, the dome, the tippy top, I don't know what mountains are called anymore. Like, once I think I know it, I don't, because of dome. Like, dome is the top. I'm like, okay, I thought it was a peak. So maybe it's a peak if it's pointy, and if it's rounded off like this, it's a dome. I don't know. I really need to learn this, since now I live in the mountains, and I live in a place where everything is uphill or downhill, probably the worst possible place for knees. So we'll see what kind of knee day I am having walking up this mountain. I may not head, I believe there is an observatory, but I may not head all the way up to the observatory, because as you can see driving along, you can see a lot of the mountains just beside us, not even having to climb elsewhere. Okay, maybe that was just a lookout and not the top. We have to be reaching the top soon. Oh no, oh, never mind. I was gonna say I'm looking at my maps and it said 8 miles, but that's how far we've traveled from the main road to this just climbing uphill. So there's the Great Smoky Mountain Expressway that takes you to Tennessee from North Carolina, which is what people are using to get like to Gatlinburg from Western North Carolina. And there's a turnoff for Clingmans Dome, which is where we are going, and it heads like straight up the mountain. But we're already like 8 miles into this, so the turnoff from the expressway is just this road that leads winding up the mountain, and this is all still new to me since I just moved here now almost a year ago. But yeah, just how these roads were built and how windy they are. And that reminds me, the Blue Ridge expressway. It's not an expressway. It's I called it an expressway before too. The Blue Ridge Parkway, which is a very slow drive, a slow scenic drive that spans from Virginia southward, maybe even farther north, but it is closed in North Carolina. It has reopened in Virginia, but yeah, I just wanted to make a note of that that's still closed. Last I heard that there were like 20 landslides and, oh, are we reaching the top now? What does this say? Oh, you need a parking tag, okay. But yeah, the Blue Ridge Parkway is still closed after Hurricane Helene, which is hindering tourism. It's a very bad time of year for this to have happened. Oh no, there's an ambulance here. Oh, maybe that's a sign that I shouldn't head up the observatory. I've heard it's quite the hike. But we've reached the top, the dome, the summit, the peak, the tippy top, the greatness. Now I just need to find a place to park. Here we go, are you ready? Our first views. It looks like there's a walking path right here along the mountains. So maybe I won't have to climb a mountain. If you want to see me climb a mountain, check out my Mount Mitchell video. It was quite the climb. So as you look out and you focus in on the individual trees, you can see that each one is a different color. Normally it's only a sea of green, and you can see the sun reflecting because it is setting. You can see it reflecting off of every color. It really is incredibly pretty. Here you can see all the colors even more. So I keep seeing that we're taller than this giant tree. There are birds, oh, there goes one, flying below us. It's very, there's a lot of different layers. Like, you can see the different scales of color. I feel like it would be like being at the Grand Canyon, but I've never been to the Grand Canyon, and I know that it's vast and a lot of people experience altitude sickness, and I feel like that's a little of what's going on here. Where you look out and you're like, why is it all so vast? I did hear that on a clear day you can see 7 different states from here. Don't know how accurate that is, but it is a fact that has been swirling around, and I know that there's other places that there's lookouts that you can see states from miles and miles away, and a lot of it was like a publicity thing that it has to be like the clearest of clear days. So I'm not exactly sure how far you can see, but I will say it is far. I would say that my favorite is this little patch of trees here. This mid-row seems to be the one that's changing the most. I mean, these other ones too, but I wonder why there's such a drastic cutoff of the colors here versus here. Maybe this side's like in the shade, and see, I'm learning things and I can report back to you. If there's a frost, I've also heard that it makes the colors come up more. So maybe it has to do with the shade and the sun and what temperature things are, but yeah, I mean, look back here, all the different layers of land and vastness. All right, we were heading downhill before. Now it's the dreaded uphill. Uphill. Up the hill, or mountain. We'll call it a mountain. I mean, it is a mountain, but if I say I'm walking up a mountain, it makes more sense that it is tiring. So since I'm already out of breath from walking part of the trail, we might as well continue some more of it because it looks like there's a store up this way. Get your mountain merch. Here we go. I'm trying to catch my breath to show you the bears because I feel like at every gift shop in the Smokies, you'll be greeted with a little bear. Is this a hat? It is a hat. Oh my goodness. I really feel like I will own this someday. They have all the little mountain friends that you'll encounter. I haven't seen a bison though. I see, oh, park rangers. I was gonna say this looks like Jacob in his pith helmet. I do need a Clingmans dome sticker now that I've conquered this. I like this one, the National Park sticker. I don't see one specifically for Clingmans dome. I'll have to look some more. Ooh, look at this guy. It's all holographic. And I saw my buddy down here. Where is he? Where is he? Where'd he go? It's Smoky Bear. Oh, I could become an honorary ranger, a junior ranger. Oh, they have a regular big league ranger hat. Maybe I'll have to start with that one since I don't know the anatomy of a mountain and then move to this one. Oh, I found some more stickers. And here's one for Clingmans Dome specifically. Okay, the elevation is 6,643 feet. I know Mount Mitchell was in the 6,000s, but I'm not sure exactly how big. Oh, there's some patches here. I could put it on my ranger hat if I got that. I think I would get the bear hat though if I had to choose a hat. So I ended up getting a couple stickers. I got the Clingmans Dome one that I showed you guys, and then I've seen this one at a few different places and I finally got it. So now that we've been going uphill, we get to go downhill. Yay! Downhill, the greatest hill there is. Like Mount Mitchell, there are places to sit along the way to rest for people like me, which I appreciate. Oh, I just noticed this trail goes down these stairs and down there for another mile and a half too. That combines mountains and stairs, and yeah, no, that's a hard pass for me. Goodbye, pretty mountains. Goodbye for today. Goodbye, Clingmans Dome. So that was Clingmans Dome, and it was so pretty. Like, everything here never fails to amaze me. Just the beauty of the mountains and the scenery and the animals. And I guess I didn't really see that many animals. I saw a bird. Maybe I'll see some on the way back down or something. But thanks for joining me. I'm gonna try to film some more fall Halloween-esque activities before I head up north at the end of the month. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. I don't really have a lot to add. I think it's because I'm tired from the hiking and I wore Crocs, and I didn't really realize how much was involved here, and I did the same thing with Mount Mitchell. So from now on, if a mountain is involved and there will be walking, I will have to wear better shoes. And I bought walking sticks, the little poles, and I didn't bring those either, so that would have been helpful. But I guess that's it for now, and yeah, bye. Elk spotting! Elk! We found an elk! Hello, little elk! I'm trying to decide if the two over here are babies. Maybe they're just smaller than the other one. But they're awfully cute. Oh, meow, 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 nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom. Okay, now that they're next to each other, I do think that's a baby. And you can see the leaves and the elk. So I just stopped at the rest area and there are more elk. Look at them. This one's eating a tree. There's some more in this field. They're everywhere. And more fall foliage. But back to the elk. Elk. Something just hit my arm. That was scary. I don't know what that was. Hi guys. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. So like I said, I stopped at the rest area and this is hanging in the bathroom stall, so I guess it's quite popular for elk to be here. And they need privacy. My face is so silly.